All right, hello and welcome to the final daf in Maseches Beitzah. Daf Kuf Yud Aleph.
Oh,
No?
no.
A daf mem. All right, we're not learning the Masechah. We're learning Maseches Beitzah. Shmuel was just telling me an amazing story. You have to hear this story. This is an amazing story.
Not at all amazing. It's just
He was telling me about Ginger Rogers.
Ginger Rogers.
Ginger Rogers.
Oh, I made up a name.
She was buried in
That's not the name
cemetery.
Sally Rogers.
Sally Rogers. Do you know who Ginger Rogers was?
I don't know. I don't care. I want it. What was this?
Ginger Rogers was Hollywood. She was a good dancer. Anyway, Ginger Rogers was buried somewhere, and she wrote on her tombstone.
I don't know
Who the heck
Sally
is Ginger?
What are you saying? Crazy things.
Shmuel told me a story. There's one named Sally Rogers. I don't know. Apparently, she wasn't famous, and she wrote on her tombstone, "Who the heck is Sally Rogers?" Because she was buried among famous people, and she wasn't famous. So, how does this connect to the fact that I listen to the music while I learn?
I don't know what the answer was. No, you were talking about how you have to enjoy life and like.
Yeah, I believe that every moment of life you can enjoy. Here is my case for my AirPods. I take one out. I simply put it in my ear, turn on my Spotify music, and listen to my playlist as I'm learning Daf Yomi. What other Magid Shir listens to music while he's preparing Daf Yomi? And not only that, but I also come up with Ian Ben Sion while I'm listening to music.
Really?
Most people get distracted, but
True.
yeah. Don't worry, I got this under control, Shmuel.
Mr. Vansky would.
Vansky wouldn't do that. He wouldn't even bring music into his base medrash. It's a chil to the base of medrash, he would say. Especially Dovi Shapiro and Leichal Zeh. I was listening to it. You ever heard of Dovi Shapiro? Leichal Zeh?
I remember the Shapiro brothers. That's the same one.
Shapiro brothers. Maybe he has a brother. I don't know.
The Shapiro brothers. They were all singers. They went and they were.
Mordechai Shapiro?
Not Mordechai Shapiro. I don't remember the names of them. They were like four brothers. They were all very good. They were all good voices. Flatbush, you know.
I don't know. I have to get a stender one second.
I think Yossi Shapiro was one name.
Alright, now I'm a rabbi. Can't make any jokes anymore. I got my stender. One second. There's no room here for my stender. There's my stender. I have my stender.
Okay, let's go. Listen.
Alright, this is it. This is Beitzah. You know what the Masechah we're starting tomorrow is? You know who Sefta Shmuel?
No.
Shmuel, you're not part of Daf Yomi.
I am running Daf Yomi. Today is Daf Yimem on Beitzah.
11th thought.
Shalom Rab Goldberg.
כמה זמן נגיד?
What?
כמה זמן?
10 דקות.
עוד 20 דקות. משהו בעצם ללמוד עם... עוד 20 דקות.
Where's he going? He wants to learn
What
with me.
happened?
He wants
to learn with you.
Yeah, Chavrusa. Maybe have Chavrusa in the morning.
Great, that's great. You have Charusa, but you have my shirt. We need you. Shmuel. You
You'll
want
have to
Charusa?
fit in your shear somehow.
Alright, well, to fit in. Okay, good. I'm happy that you have a Charusa. You can prepare for my shirt.
We'll see.
You learn Daf Yomi, prepare for the shear, and then you come and you
No,
get
it's
an
not the Daf
amazing
Yomi, not
Ian
the
with
Daf Yomi.
Ension shear. It's going to be
We'll see what
amazing.
happens.
It's going to be the best.
Well, we'll see how this
All
all
right,
fits
I
in.
want every one of my viewers, which is 0, to get pumped for Masechah Rosh Hashanah. You know, Masechah Rosh Hashanah talks about Rosh Hashanah. You know what happens in Rosh Hashanah?
I don't know
Rosh
what happened.
Hashanah is the day of Hashem, kingship, right?
That's right.
Ein od milvado. Okay, Mishnah says on the bottom of Lamed Tenem and Beis, Mishayu peirosa b'ir acheres. His fruits were in a different city. V'irvu b'nei osa ir lahavi etzlo me peirosa. The people who were holding his fruits for him as a pikadon, we're going to see, as a deposit, they wanted to make an
Hold on.
eruv.
Stop.
I can't stop if you're in the middle.
So go straight
You
to
can
the
leave
mouth.
if you want.
I'll be back soon.
Okay, you come back. They wanted to bring his payros to him. Lo yaviu lo.
Sorry.
Making faces behind the camera. Lahavi lo yaviu lo. They can't bring to him. They can't bring it to him because the fruits belong to him, and it goes by his tchum, not by the tchum that people make for the fruits. They don't, not the owners. In Erev, who pirosav kamo? If the person who owned the fruits did make an eruv, tchum, that he can get to the other city and bring it back, so then obviously he can go there and bring it back. Mishazimin eslo orchim Mishnah continues in the Mem Aleph. Mishizimin esla orchim lo yolichu biyada manos. Elim kein zakal hamanoseim erev Yom Tov. Someone who invited guests for Yom Tov, he can't send away, doggy bags or whatever leftover food. He can't send it with them if their tchum does not overlap with his tchum, unless he was zocha them their portion for every Yom Tov. Ali did a third person. He gave it to a third person and said he should be zocha for him. So therefore it belonged to him at the onset of Yom Tov, and therefore it goes based on the tchum of the oreach. Gemara Idmar Mafkin Peros Eisal Chavero. Someone who gives a deposit of fruits to his friend. Rav Amar Karagli Meshif Kidulo. Rav says the halacha is the fruits go by the tchum of the person who's holding it for him. Shmuel Karagli Mafkid. You go after the tchum of the mafkid who was in possession and did mamas his possession of it. Right? It still belongs to him. Lema Rav Shmuel the Azlo Tamai. Say Rav Shmuel according to the reasoning. The stanim hichnus bershus bal chatzer chayiv. Rabbi Omer Lalamin Chayav Shikabala Balabais Lishmor. If a person enters his ox, his shore, into his friend's chatzar, and now the shore damages stuff in his friend's chatzar, so the Rabbanan say if he allowed him to bring it in, Bala chatzar allowed him to bring the shore in, even though he wasn't makabel rishus, he wasn't makabel the nezek that the shore would bring, he's not responsible according to the Rabbanan. Rebbe says the Bala Chatzar is not chayiv until he's makabel rishus, he's makabel authority that he's held accountable for the damages. Rav says, Rav here, Gemara said there, Rav holds like Rabban and Shmuel holds like Rebbe. So say also, same Rav and Shmuel said it over there would agree over here. It's the same idea. That Rav says you go basa ragle mishef kidu, it's low, like the balachatzer, and Shmuel says you go ragle hamafkid, like it would be in the rishus of the person who gave it to the balachatzer, and he's responsible for the damages, the owner. So the Gemara says no. I feel Rav. I feel the Rebbe. I could agree with Rebbe. I can't look on Rebbe Hastam El the Mistama Lo Kabel and Tirusa. If he's not makabel but fairish in order to be held accountable for the damages. He's not responsible. But here, he was makabel bailos. He was makabel rishus. By the case of Pikadon, in the case of Tchumen, he was makabel bailos. Shmuel Amar Anadami Afila Rabbana. Shmuel says I can say even according to the Rabbanan Zikin. Ad kan lo kamer Rabbanan Hasan al denichal elinish nekum tori b'shusei. If he wants, the Baal HaShor wants to put it in the other guy in the Baal HaChatzer's Rishus, so he won't be held accountable for the damages of his own shore. When does he want when he's giving a pikadon to his friend to wash his fruits, he wants it to be another guy's Rishus? Not really. There's no reason why he wants it to be in his Rishus. He wants it to be in his Rishus. He's just asking the guy to wash it for him. The Mishnah says, our Mishnah says, if he made an Erev, if the person, the Baal HaPiros made an Erev, he gave his fruits, as we thought, as a Pikadon to a person in a different city. And if the Baal HaPiros made an Erev, then he gets to use his Tchum. So if you say like Rav, that you go after the Tchum of the person who is watching the Pikadon, Ki'erev who might have, what does it matter that the Baal HaPiros makes a Tchum? It goes by the Tchum of the owner. Of the one who's watching the Bikadon. Amar Rav Huna, Amri Beirav, our mission is different. We're talking about a case where the person who's watching it put it in a corner. He set up a corner in order to. Yeah, he put it in a Yichelo Karen Zavis. Come, sit down.
Because he wasn't behaving well.
No, we're talking about he gave fruits to his friend. And he was planning on coming to visit him on Yom Tov, and he wanted to eat the fruits, right? So that's considered to be, he already gave it over to the mafkid, and he wants to be in Rosh Hashanah. Even Rav Moda Tashma, which is even Etzloach Orcham, the Sefer our Mishnah. He invited guests. Lo Yulichu Biyodam Manos. Alan King Zachlam Manosayim Erev Yom Tov. He can't, if what's it called, he invited guests, unless he was mazaket through another person to them before Yom Tov, then it goes by his tchum. and the guest, can't take it outside of the tchum of the owner. The Amrit, the Balabais, if you say like Rav, that you go Basar, the one who's holding the Bikadon, might have the fact that he was Zocha to him through somebody else. What does it mean you're Zocha through somebody else? On Erev Yom Tov, you're Mizakeh to the other person. Right?
Right.
And now, who does it belong to? It belongs to the Oreach, because he's Mizakeh to him. And now, before Yom Tov, obviously, the Oreach doesn't come till Yom Tov. So the fruits are considered to be a deposit in the rishus of the balati of the person who's watching it, the balabais who's watching it. So therefore, etzlo. So why does it go? Even if he's mizakeh him, how should it help according to Rav? So the Gemara says, it's like he set up a corner. He put it in a corner that. It's kilu not a pikadon, it's better than a pikadon. It's already considered in the rishus of the mafkid. You might say mazacha shiny, or you can say zacha when he mazakid through somebody else, he delivers ownership. He's kilu not taken as a pikadon anymore. It's kilu he's leaving it. It's not really a pikadon. It doesn't have a luck status of pikadon anymore. It's considered already in the rishus of the oreach. Rav Chana bar Chanila itala bisra be'ivra the dasha. Right, Shmuel does this a lot when he goes to the butcher store. He buys spare ribs. He goes and he hangs them outside his door.
Whenever my
right?
We go to the butcher store.
He goes to the butcher store. Well done at as many stores throughout Israel. Well done is owned by my good friend Dudu Asra. He's the main chef at Entrecôte restaurant in Yerushalayim. Harputzim. When I open up a restaurant, he's going to be invited to be one of the maybe a sous chef. Sous chef is. He's going to be one of the main chefs. Me, him, my brother-in-law Eliyahu Solomon, and obviously me. It's going to be a trio. We're going to deliver. You hear it here first. We are going to open up a restaurant that is going to be the first Jewish restaurant, the first kosher restaurant, black kosher, to get 3 Michelin stars. Even to get 1 Michelin star has never been accomplished. You can get 3 Michelin stars. It's going to be called Havaya. And you pronounce Havaya. It's like could be Chavaya, right? A person who can't pronounce the chet would say Havaya. Havaya means Hashem's name. It also means Chavaya, an experience. It's going to be unique. Eating it's not just about a culinary experience. It's not just about culinary. It's an experience also.
I know. It's about life. Please.
It's about experience. It's an experience.
I know.
For
Havaya.
example,
It's life. I know already how it's going to sound.
Havaya.
Stupid.
No, it's not just about how it tastes. Food is more than just a taste. It has to be an experience.
I know. People don't
This
care
is
about it. People
this is
wanna have
one of
food.
my props I'm going to have. The Great Wall of China. You understand this? What is the Great Wall of China? They made a Great Wall. It's one of the, biggest attractions.
He has a restaurant, I think. That's Rami, if it makes sense.
Rami is his name? מה השם שלו? מה השם שלך?
רמי בקומה.
Rami? יש לך מסעדה? He has a restaurant?
בית מדרש.
זה דף יומי. רמי לא רוצה להצטרף לשיר שלנו.
אני יש לי דף יומי.
הוא לובש תפילין עכשיו.
סיימתי.
הוא רק מדבר על אוכל.
ביצה.
שהוא לובש תפילין רק מדבר על אוכל.
Let's learn this Gemara.
מדבר על מסעדה, צריך לדבר על האוכל עצמו. Okay, no, listen. So one of the things we're going to have, the Great Wall of China, is you're going to have a picture, right? A picture on the wall, the Great Wall of China, and we're going to attach Chinese food, let's say sesame chicken or something like that, to the wall. It's going to be on the wall. You eat the Chinese food off the wall.
That sounds really gross.
The Great Wall of China.
That's gross.
I have another idea. Listen to this one.
Is that going to be as
The Ottoman Empire. Listen to this. The Ottoman Empire. Basically, what we're going to have is you're going to eat Middle Eastern food. Turkey. Ottoman Empire was Turkey. And, of course, they'll have Turkey also. And you'll have couches with ottomans. A lot of ottomans. You know what an ottoman is? Ottoman is a footrest. Yeah. So a lot of ottomans. Yeah. So you're going to be reclining while you eat the Middle Eastern food, the Turkish food. So it's a double meaning. Ottoman Empire, right? It's Middle Eastern food along with eating on an ottoman. Because that's why it was called the Ottoman Empire. Because the food was supposed to be eaten while you're reclining with an
You have to
ottoman.
give a whole explanation to all these people. They're gonna come in there and say, "What is going on?"
And this is the best one. This you're gonna like. This has Yiddishkeit written all over it. Frank for a frank.
Crazy.
Frankfurter. Listen to
You're
this.
gonna be in prison. You're gonna be you're gonna be out of business before you start.
I'm leaving prison now. Frankfurters. Listen, Frankfurters. Obviously originated in Frankfurt, Germany. That's where they call Frankfurter from, right? And they also hamburgers. Hamburg is another city in Germany. So when there's two types of hats. There's a bowler hat, the Hasidish weekday hat, and you also have the Hamburg.
Right.
The Hamburg sounds like hamburger, right? The Hamburg has has an indentation on the top,
Yes.
crevice, right? You're going to be served a hot dog with the hat. It's going to be in the indentation of the Hamburg.
Right.
Ham is like ham, right? Hamburg,
That's right.
ham. The first hot dogs were made out of ham. Actually, we're not going to serve ham obviously in a restaurant. So you got kosher, the OU hechsher. But what you do is you wear the Hamburg while you eat the hot dog.
Yeah.
And the bowler hat is a straight hat, so it's like a hamburger bun. So you wear the bowler hat, you wear the Hasidish hat. We'll have two options: the Hasidish hat for the Hasidim, and the bowler hat. It's a bowler hat, basically a little bit round on the top, but basically straight. You eat the hamburger while you're and also right. All right, you got it. And franc for a franc because, going to be that area. Switzerland uses francs. So
What's franc? What's franc?
franc
for
is a franc.
Or franc for
Franc is a monetary currency they use in Switzerland. It's going to be amazing.
You have-
Specific Pacific. You heard of the Specific Pacific? You're gonna eat sushi.
Word
The
plays,
main
but
sushi
it just gets.
is from Pacific salmon. That's the best sushi for salmon. Alaskan salmon and Pacific salmon. Alaska's in the Pacific Ocean, Pacific salmon. Pacific. You're gonna have winds blowing in your face when you eat the sushi. Different types of fans and heating and cool elements
I like that idea.
while you eat the
I
sushi
can't do
because
that. I can't do things
it's
blowing in my face.
Pacific,
But I can't do things
right?
blowing
The
in my
Pacific
face.
winds.
I feel-
It's gonna be amazing, Shmuel. This is the restaurant of the
You know
future.
what you need with all that.
This
all that?
is-
You need a lot of money. That's what you need. A lot of money.
Yeah, we need a lot of money. That's the problem right now. That's delaying the grand opening of this restaurant. But me, Shmuel, and Rami are gonna come to this restaurant. We're gonna have a grand entrance. Rami's gonna come. He's gonna taste the hors d'oeuvres. He's gonna be astounded by their delicacy, by the taste, the spices.
Okay, let's go.
All right, Rami's not happy. All right.
Let's go.
So the Gemara says, anyway, people used to hang meat by their door, apparently. Tala bistro over the dash. Ask him Rav Huna. He came from Rav Huna. I'm like, atol is zil shakil. If you were the one who hung the meat up, then you can take it. If other people, the owners of the house, hung up the meat for you, then you can't take it. I mean, you can't take it out of your tchum. It's their tchum. Tala mishakil. Somewhere says, if he hung it up, he could take it. Rav Huna told me the Rav Hava. He was Rav's Talmud. I'm a Rav Karag Mishif Kidu as low. It goes based on the mafkid. He put it, it's in their house. It's on the door of somebody else's house. So it should go by their tchum, not his tchum. Shiny over the dash of his dummy. Since it's on the door, it's kilo they had das that it belongs to the mafkid, not to the nifgad. I mean, they're filled with Ravashi, what they were told for him. Lo shakal, he can't take it his tchum. Bamar Shmuel Shor shall petem re'ev karagle kolodam. Shor, he says that a shor that is shalpetem, that you're fattening up the shvarim to make them fattier. So that goes even by people from outside the city, because we assume he's doing it for the other person. So here also, even though he's doing it in someone else's house, they of course have das, and he's going to take it. Another question, same question. They're told that he doesn't take it to his tchum. There's one roa, there's one shepherd in the city. Right? So we assume, even on to the Shabbos, even though it wasn't given over to the Roa until Shabbos, we assume that he's going to give it to that Roa on Shabbos and it goes by the Tchum of the Roa. A third question. He's not going to take it out. Animal and Kalim. Stam, go the Bailam. He's the Bailam over here. Not really a case of Hafkada, of Pikado. Elashani Rav Chana bar Chanila, the Gav Rab who tar b'shmaisha. The reason, the Gemara answers the reason if they were told it for him, he can't take it, is because he's Torah. He's a great person and he's always learning. This is what he said. Then you're going to make sure to have a simon. You're going to make sure to know which piece of meat it is. You know how it was wrapped, or you have identifying marks on it. And you didn't have hesach hadas. But if they were told it for you, so then you're going to be busier learning. You're going to forget about the meat and you can't take it. What's the answer of the Gemara over here? So Rashi and most professional articles learn is that we're talking about the Gemara says you're right. Klape Tchumen, of course, everyone agreed it would go based on the mafkid, based on Rav Chana bar Chanilai's Tchum. But there's a different problem over here. Because he was Tar B'Shmaisei, there's a problem of a Bas Shnesalim and a Ayim. That's the way most Rashi says that also. That's because he's targeted. If he's told it. So let's read this in the Gemara. The Gemara says, two things. First of all, you have a simon. You're not hesach hadas. So the Meiri explains over here that the Gemara is really saying two things. That there's two reasons we should be kosher bas shenazalim. First, shenazalim and ayim. That first of all, right? Even though we're talking about there's Jews over here and there's no goyim over here, the Gemara and Chulin still says we're worried that ravens might take the meat and replace it with a different meat. So, if you have a simon, so that's
how will they replace it? What are they?
First of all, you're not going to be masak das.
How will they replace it? They want to take the meat. They're not what they're.
I don't know. Someone will replace it. First of all, you're not going to have hesach hadas because, right? And even if you do have hesach hadas, into Islam there is hesach hadas, you have a simon, and you'll know that it's not the right meat. The ravens replaced with a different meat. So there's two reasons. Why did the Gemara give two reasons? I want to say Rashi says at the end over here. This is Iyun ben Sion. Introduce it. Iyun ben Sion. Rashi says over here, even though he learns the whole sugya as Lashon Acher, the last word before the Mishnah, Mishum Muksa. He adds in other words, another pshat. Mishum Muksa, a totally different pshat. The reason is, since he was Tar B'Shmaisei, if someone else's tola for him hangs up the meat, so then it's going to be Muksa. If he hangs it up, he's making it, he has das for it, not Muksa. I want to say that's the pshat, not like the Meiri. The reason the Gemara is giving two reasons, not two reasons for it to remove it from the problem, Basar and Solomon and Ayim. One is because of Basar and Solomon and Ayim. Right? Therefore, he won't confuse the Basar. This guy is Torah B'Shmaisei. He's learning all the time. Even though he put it up himself, right? He's still going to be Mesech Das, right?
And what's wrong with Mesech Das?
So that's Rashi's second lashon. Lo masach daitach minei. That once you hang up the meat over there,
yes.
So therefore you're not going to have Hesach Hadas, now Muksa. The Gemara says Muksa, according to the Shimon, even according to the Shimon, two characteristics, we're going to see soon, is Tachinu Biyadayim and Asach Daita Minei. That's one of the characteristics of Hesach Hadas. Hesach Hadas, you remove your mind from it, that's considered Muksa. So if he was told it himself, so there's two problems. Basar Shanazalim and Ayin. He's going to forget about it. This guy, he's a rabbi, he's learning all the time. He hangs it up, but he's going to forget about it afterwards, before he takes it. So because he has a simon, he knows he's hanging it up, so he has a simon. So he won't be confused about Shanazalim and Ayin. And also, Lo Matzah Daita, even though really there will be a Hasach Daita, he's going to forget about it before he takes the meat. But since you were making it before Shabbos, he hung it himself, so therefore it's considered the Hasach Daita not Chashuv, and it's not going to be a problem of Muksa. You like that? Even Ben Sion, while I was listening to David Shapiro. You believe that? Alright, the Mishnah. Ein mashkin v'shokten es medborios, mashkin v'shokten es habaisos. You can't water. Before they shaft an animal, they used to put water on the skin. We'll see why. Midborios.
What water on the skin? They would drink it, give it to drink?
No. They would rinse it with water.
I don't think that's...
Yeah, we're going to see it soon. And midborios. Animals that took up residence in the midbar, they barely came home. Mashkin v'shokten es habaisos. Domestic animals that came home every night, that you could shaft on Yom Tov, because not Muksa. Only in Beitzah. What's considered Beitzah? What's considered domesticated animals? Halanos beer. That at night they come to sleep in the city. Midbarios, halanos be'efer. Midbarios, the range animals are animals that are confined to the midbar. They go and sleep outside the city. The efer, the pasture. Versus Lamali, the name of mashkim v'shokten. What does it say? Mashkim v'shokten. What does it do with rinsing the animal? Milsa agavorchik mashman delishki inish hemto v'hadro lishcha mishum sircha de mishcha. it's better, derech eretz, it's help good advice to you that before you shech the animal, you should rinse the skin off with water so that when you
This means to
flay the
drink,
skin.
to drink it, to give it to drink.
Our scroll clearly says over here, one should first water his animal and slaughter.
Water his animals means to give it water.
Water
to
and
drink.
slaughter? No.
Water and slaughter.
Water and slaughter.
That's a good name
It's
for
a new wrong.
That's a
New
good name for a
song.
meat and for your meat restaurant.
Water
Water
and
and slaughter.
No.
That's nice. It's a meat restaurant. Water. We give the water and we
Maybe
slaughter.
when I start
And
11.
we slaughter the animals.
All right.
Water means you give it to drink. You give it to
drink.
drink. You don't water. You put water on the skins. That's ridiculous. You could.
Let me see if you're right. Watering them?
Watering means
All right,
you water the
maybe that's
animals.
what you mean. I don't know.
Of course, that's what. Okay.
Anyway, if you water it before whatever that means, the skin is going to come off easier when you chef it. You want to take the skin. Tarabana elim midbarios ve'en baisos. Consider midbarios. Also consider domesticated midbarios. Kol to Pesach. Right after Pesach, they go out to the pasture outside the tzchidi, a rose fair. They graze out there for a long time. And if not, the Rav Yerushalayim. They come back right now in Cheshvan when it starts to rain. The Elohim midbar baisos. What's considered domesticated? They go and they graze outside the city, and at night they come back in the city to sleep. Rabbi Omer Elohim baisos. Rabbi disagrees on the Mishnah. He says both of these actually on the Bryce. He says a different opinion. Elohim baisos say both, even if they come back for a in Cheshvan, they're considered baisos. Elohim mibaros was considered range animals. They don't come back even during the winter. So Rabbi implies that he holds of muksa, that if they're the midbarios or muksa, the Rabbi holds of muksa. Boy, I mean, Rabbi Shimon bar Rabbi. Shimon the son of Rabbi asked Rabbi, Silei Tmara, Rabbi Shimon Mao. Let's say you have unripened dates. According to Rabbi Shimon, who doesn't hold a muksa, are they muksa or not? Amalei and muksa Rabbi Shimon ella grows to smukim bilvad. Only grows to smukim when you have two characteristics, where you're dachinu b'yadayim, you push them away, you push them to dry out, you push them away from yourself, and you're ma'asich das from them. So then, but this is not unripe dates, so you didn't push them away. Ibai Zema, so he seems that he holds like Rabbi Shimon. You can say over here midbarios, according to Rabbi Shimon, to Rabbi, are like Rosh Smukim because he Kilu told them to go out to the pasture and they're never coming back. Alternatively, he could be saying according to Rabbi Shimon, he doesn't hold a mix of Leilos really. He holds a muktzah. Rabbi Shimon doesn't hold a muktzah. He does. Alternatively, a third answer we could say that Rabbi was saying. He was saying is his argument according to the Rabbana. L'didi ein muksa according to me, I don't hold a muksa like he said by Rav Shimon. El didko odli miyas heichel Yosef Ros Pesach nas Rav Yerushalayim. The Beitzah said it meant to be the Rabbana, and that even if they come back, Rav Yerushalayim, when it starts to rain in Cheshvan, that they're called but they're domesticated. Amli Rabbana lo midbarios, saying the Rabbana argue, and they say those who come midbarios, they argue on two things. Whether it is muksa and also what is considered baisos, what's considered midbarios. Hadra Allah Mishilin Peiros Slika Alan Meseches Beitzah. You happy, Shmuel? We finished?
Yes, very nice.
Mazel Tov.
Hey, Rami,
Mazel
come.
Tov.
תגיד מזל טוב לצילום.
סיימתם? עמוד מ'?
רמי, כן, סיימנו.
איזה יופי, נו, מה יש? משהו? קידוש? משהו?
אתה מביא השמפיין, שמפניה, כן? אני אביא הרגלח, אוקיי?
אומר לך, שמפניה לא הולך עם רוגלה, שמפניה הולך עם סטייק.
לא שמפניה. Dry wine goes with steak. Sweet wine. Champagne is sweet. Even
bourbon.
All right, he's gonna bring caviar. No, caviar is not kosher, but he's gonna bring. He'll bring the steaks. He's gonna bring the steaks.
Schnapps.
I'll bring the ice cream.
Scotch. Ice cream.
Ice cream, glida, acharei steak, or sorbet. I'm not sure, but okay. All right, Rami's my new friend. Rami is gonna join us from Sefet Rosh Hashanah. All right. Ani oseh shir YouTube. Rami. All right, Rami achaver shali. We'll say kalimud achshav. Tari b'shmaisei. All right. Have a Mazel Tov.
Rosh Hashanah.
And here we come, Rosh Hashanah.